Hello, my most amazing art students. Today, we're going to be working on creating this, I guess, inspired piece, which is the bridge over the water lily pond that was done by Monet. So, you guys are going to need a piece of paper and some crayons, and next week, when we finish it off, you'll need watercolors. But I'm going to I'm going to put some inspiration sheets or idea sheets of how you can add it, because I'm not going to do the whole thing with you. I'm just going to start you off. And I'm just going to do that. I'm going to start with the bridge, and I'm going to use a brown crayon. I'm sorry, I don't know why my voice is going out right now. So in order to do that, I'm going to kind of find the middle of my paper. Right there, I'm going to go a little bit above the middle of the paper to do my bridge. And I'm just going to draw two arched lines. And I'm going to try to get the line kind of thick, because normally when I do this, I do it with oil pastels. But I know not all of you guys have oil pastels, so we're just going to use crayon. It'll give the same effect. So there's my first arched line. Now I'm going to do that a second time, mimicking or following the same arc of the bridge. It's much harder to get that thick line with the crayon than it is with my oil pastel. So, and then I'm going to draw a line just there in the center of those two lines. It's easier on the side, that's for sure. So you guys want to turn your paper and do it on the side as well. So there are my three lines. Now I'm going to add a few vertical crossbars here on my bridge. And then I'm going to go with this lighter blue color and just kind of add some highlights. Like I don't know, I like to add a little bit of depth of color, just tracing over that. And then on this side, I just add like a shadowing there. Just like that. Super simple. Okay. Now, we have our bridges complete. Now what we're going to do is add some lily pads in the water. I'm going to show you quickly how I do that. And you can add as many or as few as you want. All of these techniques we've kind of done throughout the year using crayons. So whatever you feel comfortable with. The only thing is I want you to keep like the two sides of this, because we're going to draw things coming in from each side for the foliage. And then behind the bridge, we're going to create some trees and some background that will kind of make our bridge pop forward. Okay. So in order to do a lily pad, I just did like, I don't know, ovoid shape with a little, maybe a squished heart shape. And then I colored that in a bit, and you can use a couple of different color tones of green to give it depth. And then I went ahead and used pink and just, colored in the floral part of it. And like I said, you guys can go and add as many or as few of these. Just add a little dip in there. Maybe this one has a little smaller flower on it. And do as many or as you want. The one thing I do want you guys to keep in mind is our water. So I have this lighter blue color, and wherever there's a lily pad, we can kind of create these motion ripples, and you can go in with the white. And wherever you don't have a lily pad, you can add a few white lines or ripples in the water. Like you see, I have some ripples, I have some blue dots in there. So keep that in mind. So now we're going to add, and you guys, again, are going to do whatever you feel like doing. You can create whatever kind of leaf structure you want to create, and using yellows and greens and browns. I'm just going to create some shading and highlighting in this. I don't want you to copy this because you guys are 6th graders. You should be able to do this on your own. Maybe this one has, like I said, I'm going to add some idea sheets to your lesson, so you'll have those to work from. I'll have to go copy them and so I can put them online for you. Okay, so adding just some things coming off the side. Now, the trees in the background, and you want to fill the front in fairly well, not all the way across the front because you want the water to show there. Now, for the trees in the background, you are going to have a horizon line. Now, that horizon line can be a little higher or lower, but I like to put mine kind of in the bridge, like starting where the bridge. So you're going to draw a horizontal line across your paper so you know where the ground is. And I just lightly sketch that in. Now I'm going to draw a tree trunk. Luckily, I drew my bridge brown and it doesn't matter. Draw a tree trunk. And then in order to get the leaf, the leafy shape of the tree, I'm just going to sketch in the shape of this tree. Very squiggly. You can see it not, no perfection going on here. I'm going to kind of create some branches up in here. And then, oh, there goes my green crayon. Then I'm going to create leaf squiggles, leaf marks, that will denote that there are leaves all over this tree. Just really squiggly marks. And I'm going to take a couple of different colors of green, greenish yellow, and add those in because, where's my other green? I want it to show depth of color. So there is one tree created. All right. And then maybe, just because this is the bottom of the tree, it's got a little bit darker. And then maybe like wherever there's like a bunch of leaves, you go in and you kind of just darken that. Okay. So that's a tree. Now, there's these cypress trees that they have a lot of in Italy that are really tall. And that's kind of the same thing, but I just created these long, tall trees, and I did the same thing with this scribble, kind of like pine. They're evergreens. Cypress trees are evergreens as well. So, reaching all the way, and then you just fill those spaces in with the scribbles. I even went in, I think with even brown paint, you can do a little bit of trunks coming up there. And then, again, like I said, just filling that whole area in with this leafy structure all the way. Because you're going to paint over it and you're going to add, more details with your paint. And I even added this really colorful bush right in here that was orange, maybe it has some different colored foliage and with some red flowers or pinkish flowers. I don't know. Just adding something in there. So, and then right here by this tree, there's some pond grasses. Maybe these were cattails, and they have these little cattails on the end that kind of stick out. So that's kind of like what I did here just to show you. And then next week we'll go over and I'll show you how to paint it. But you got to fill in your whole area. You don't really need to worry about the sky. We're going to paint that blue. But Make sure you have foliage on the ground, trees. If you want to do multiples of this type of tree, that's totally fine. Use the idea sheets, add in some foliage. Maybe you want a big tulip coming off over here, you know. And then you color that in a bit. Maybe it has a little bit of pink highlights coming down on there, you know. Up to you, but tulips have these really large leaves, so there you go. There's a few ideas for you. I do want to see what you guys are working on, so I want you to submit your colored drawing so I can let you know if you need to do more or if it looks good, and then next week we'll go ahead and paint. All right, thanks guys. Have a great day.